Derek Drakeford. I'm with Drakeford Scott and Associates from Durham, North Carolina, and I'm with the Black Chamber of Commerce in Durham, North Carolina.
Brand new. Go get them.
We definitely support your position. My question is, I feel like we're not presenting healthy alternatives. I'm against card check. I'm against unions, but I'm against unions from their start. When you look at Frederick Taylor and you look at the author of Scientific Management, it created a break between management and labor, where management is now the head and labor is the body. And what we've been doing is cutting off our limbs, literally, because there's a difference between how we look at the job and the work. We've taken the humanity out of labor, and we've put in scientific management, which really created unions in the 1920s. So that's my question is, what's the root cause of unions, and how can we get to a healthy body, which is your organization?
Yeah, I don't go after unions per se. As I said, the NEA, postal workers, fantastic unions. There are good unions. In the construction industry, there aren't any good unions, and we need to correct that. So the point is, show me a construction union in a particular area that is fully integrated, that does not discriminate, and that is a union I will support. Okay?
I would submit that there is none.
That's why I'm saying it.
Washington, D.C. is a prime example. The IBW 26 here, prior to probably the 70s, if you are not Irish Catholic, you are not Italian Catholic, you did not get into that union. Your uncle, cousin, brother, it was a lot of nepotism between there. So basically that has continued because there really hadn't been a redress. Now, the feds have tried to do some things, but it was just very, very small things.
D.C. is really a mess. You know, the largest so-called minority business in D.C. is Fort Myers Construction, which is owned by a Portuguese fellow born in Europe. They're not minority. They're too big to be a DBE, but yet D.C. still chalks them up as a DBE. He owns the largest asphalt plant in Washington, D.C. The whole thing's a mockery. D.C. does maybe 6-7% minority business in this procurement. Washington, D.C. When Marion Barry was here, you talk about Marion Barry all you want, we're doing about 35%.
Norris McDonald, African American Environmentalist Association. Question for Harry Alford. Harry, do you think the green jobs area in the stimulus package will lead to a revolution in employment for minority businesses? And second part of the question is, do you think blacks should be in the coal mining business in a global warming world? And that includes owning coal mines.
Well, I think that the green jobs is a great opportunity, Norris. And I think your organization would be a resource for us. But no, that's a great opportunity if we go after it, and we need to go after it. There's going to be green jobs, and there's going to be environmentally redress we have to do. Should we go into the coal mine business? I'd rather see us in a nuclear energy business or in a green job business. I think coal is it's not going to die, but I think it's rather Neanderthal for us. Okay.
I would say on the green jobs as well, Harry, because we're very well involved with it. Solar, wind, stuck into several pieces of the stimulus is the requirements for project labor agreements. It was on CNBC this morning. So, prior to coming here. So anything that has to do with energy, whether it's nuclear, solar, wind, there's going to be a mandate that it go union. So here again, you have the same issue. The vast 93% of the people will be locked out of that issue if you're not union. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense in America that we would go that direction. So as Harry said, we got to fight it.
And we must clock the data.
Yes.
Department of Labor has the numbers. But when Al Gore started doing this big contract bundling business, I went to Alexis Herman asking for numbers. I just wanted for California, make California an example. She wouldn't give them to me. She was like, Philadelphia, I don't have the numbers. You're Secretary of the Department of Labor. You keep the numbers. That's going to be important. Department of Labor, Attorney General, Justice. Get the data, show the pattern of discrimination, take it to justice through civil rights.
There's
And that's
one-
up to us. And eventually, the great president we do have is very intelligent. He'll start getting the message.
Harry, just one comment on green jobs. The green jobs programs that exist, that are out there and have been proposed, the training for green jobs and the way it's structured right now, it favors union-only training programs. Essentially, the way the funds flow down from the Employment and Training Administration out of the Department of Labor, they need to go to a nonprofit that's essentially set up with a union board. So there's some real issues there. The board members are kind of flexible, except with respect to union membership on the board. So when you get to that training nonprofit, it is going to fall within the auspices of organized labor's control. So that may be, further limiting when we look at green job training, and then, the way that kind of will putter out to the economy is you'll have these training facilities where you will get certified, and then the local governments, and we've seen this already, to work on a green job project, you're going to have that certification. And if those become kind of union-only training programs, certainly the impact across the board could be discriminatory against small business. And given the construction industry and the makeup of the construction unions we see in that particular slice, when you really look at that slice of unionization, it could be problematic across the board for minority participation in green jobs moving forward. And that's something, certainly to keep an eye out. One other comment with respect to, there was a question earlier about the executive orders and the ability for people to publicly comment on the text of the executive orders. There was no notice and comment on the specific text of the executive orders. There's going to be implementing regulations. Will there be an opportunity? But the regulations are limited in what they can do. So it really wasn't an open debate with respect to what was in the executive orders. I did not receive a phone call from the president to participate in the debate, but there could have been private debates with business folks across the board. But I haven't heard anything where people were brought in as far as there being some sort of private discourse with respect to the text of it. So there are some troubling aspects to that this wasn't kind of the transparent debate that we've been promised. And we hope moving forward there will be more give and take on that.
They actually had a small business summit at the White House, which I participated in, the morning of the day he signed those executive orders. And he never mentioned them. And he went back to his office and signed those executive orders after leaving 200 business leaders, small business leaders. He did the one against the one supporting project labor agreements on a Saturday morning without press. Just did it. Yes, sir.
I'm Bill Cunningham from MinorityFinance.com. So, Harry, have you all done an analysis of the stimulus bill and its impact on African-American businesses specifically, and is that posted anywhere?
No, it's in the process. Give us about another 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's a big piece, man.
Thank you.
Back in the late 70s, maybe early 80s, there were several 501c3 organizations that ran labor education advancement programs. I know the National Urban League did one, OICs of America did one, RTP in New York City did one, and there were other 501c3 operations who were specifically directed toward the building and construction trades. Is there anything around like that now?
Urban League is setting it up now to do that. And I love Mark Morial, and I love what the Urban League stands for. But you go to any Urban League pre-apprentice program or apprentice program and ask them, where are the graduates from 2 years ago? Where are they working? And they don't even know where they are.
I don't know that those programs are still running now.
They've got individual Urban Leagues here and there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they've got one down in New Orleans right now. And then there's the Youth Build, which is through HUD. But you ask any one of those groups, where are the graduates of 2004? Where are they working? And it's a mean trick to play on a student, a youth, a 20-year-old person trying to get a job.